Hello and welcome back, or welcome to my channel, AJ Budgets. I am AJ and I'm so thankful and grateful that you are here with me today. In today's video, I had 3 CDs come up for renewal or maturity when I was on vacation. And so we are going to budget out and stuff my interest from my 3 CDs and then my Q1 interest from my high yield money market account in Edward Jones. So if that sounds like fun, then let's get into it. Hello. I am excited to report that CD interest rates have not gone back up to where they were a year and a half ago, but they are yielding higher interest than is in my high yield money market account. So that is exciting. So I did roll over all 3 of my CDs into new CDs. So I want to budget out what I want to do with that interest. So typically I save 22% of my interest in my federal tax fund, but my taxes, for some reason, I received money back because the way that my new school does our payroll, they calculate federal taxes off of my total income, which includes my tax-free retirement and medical insurance and all of that stuff. For some reason, they're taking tax on my gross instead of after my tax-free stuff. So that is why I got a big tax refund, which means I didn't have to add any money to my tax refund, if that makes sense. It was very confusing, but I talked to somebody and they looked over my taxes and that is what is going on. So that's totally fine. So I have a fully funded tax fund based on what I am pretty sure my interest is going to be. I am going to track my interest just to make sure that that $2,000 is sufficient just in case I do owe money. But we are also, I like to try to save at least $2,000 a year in interest to add to my car CD. So that whenever my car, I want to trade it in, I have money set aside where I can pay the difference. So let's see what all we can get it done with this round of interest for Q1 in 2026. I did have CDs at 2 different banks that came due. So I am going to separate out the 2. I'm going to do my one bank at the top and then my second bank at the bottom. So my first bank is my little local bank. And I had $361.25. So then my 22% in taxes for this would be $79.48. 22% is my tax based on my income. Yours may or may not be the same. And then at my Edward Jones, I had my Q1 interest. And then we had CD 2 and 3 came up for renewal. So Q1 interest ended up being $211.62. My CD number 2 was a 6-month CD and it was $268.38 in interest. CD3 was a 9-month CD, and that one was $482.71 in interest. So my 22% taxes for each of those would be $46.56 for my Q1 interest, $63 for CD number 2, and $106.20 for CD 3. So I do want to total all of that up. 79 plus 46.56 plus 63 plus 106.20. So total for this round is $295.25, which is well under that $2,000 threshold in my money market federal tax savings. But I do want to, oh, this was not CD3, it's CD number 4. Okay, so we have 79 36.56, 106.20. Okay. That is recorded. So now we need to figure out what we're doing with the interest money. So I'm going to calculate up how much I got from in my Edward Jones account. 62 plus 286.38 plus 482.70. 980.80. Perfect. Okay, so I have $980.80 to budget for my Edward Jones account, and then I have $361.25 to budget for my local bank. I am going to budget out my local bank first. I have 2 CDs at this local bank. This CD, I have like my godson's savings for graduation, my niece's graduation savings. I have my emergency fund. So one thing I like to fund is my baby godson. Well, he's not a baby. He's a toddler. He will be 3 this year. Oh my gosh. No, he is 3 right now. He will be 4 this year. But I like to save $300 each time that CD comes up that gets pushed back into his account. So we're going to take $300 and that's going to Drew's portion. And then I want to move $63 into my checking account because I don't like having like less than $100 increments. And so I'm going to be I do need to add $35 to my copay account because I have drained that being sick. And then what does that give us? 361 minus 300 minus 35. And then that's going to give us $26. And I'm going to put that in personal because, again, with being sick, I've drained my personal account. And so then that zeroes that out. So let me pull out cash for that and we will go ahead and get that stuffed. Okay, make sure I have $361 here. 1, 2, 300, 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, and 361. So in my CD binder, that is where I will be adding $300 for Drew. So he now has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000, $1,100 and $1,200. I'm going to change out this 1,000 for $1,000 placeholder. So he has $1,200 in his little CD for his graduation. That's so exciting. I love it. While I'm in here, I am pulling out Xavier's graduation funds. I did a vacation with me to Vegas, and that is for Xavier's graduation. And then we'll be going and doing some type of graduation trip either this summer or early this fall. It'll be before the CD comes up for renewal. So he has $2,500 for graduation. So that's getting pulled out, yeah, for him. So we'll pull that out and it'll be just transferred into my money market account and it'll be sitting in my AVK until that is ready. Okay, so we're done in this binder. So I need to go into my sinking funds and we are going to be adding $35 to my copay. So CD interest plus 35, and that gives us 35. So $35 is my copay if I have to go see the doctor. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't get sick, so I won't need to see my doctor until I think my next doctor's appointment is in like October. So hopefully we can get this built back up before I get sick again. And then the last $26 is going here in my personal account. And that is right here. Plus 26, and I do not want to do math in my head. I know it's going to be a round number, which is nice. So I have 559 plus 26, 585. All right, so we have 500, 550, 570, 575, 580, 2, 4, and 585. It's a decent amount in the personal account. Okay. Local CD interest is done and accounted for. Let's move on to Edward Jones. So I think I'm just going to put all $980 in my interest envelope and kind of see where that gets us. So we're just going to be very boring here. $980.80, and that is going to go into the interest envelope. 250, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 950, 970, and $980. Just gonna set that in a bulk right there. And we will get that recorded here. So this is March Q1 interest plus 980. That is going to require the calculator for sure. 980.80 plus we had 1362 in there. So that gives us $2,343.42. So I like to save at least $2,000 a year for my car CD. So I'm excited that we already are at the $2,000. I would love to be able to save a little more than that. So we'll see if and when. I don't know. I do want to condense some of this down. So I know I have 1,000. So let me get another 1,000 out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000. 1,000, 2,000, 21, 22, 23, 20, 42, and $2,343. 1,000. We're going to move this to the car envelope. Minus 2,000, 343.42. So I'm just going to pull out the two 1,000s then. And we will move that over here to our car fund. So it gives us 5, 6, 7,000. And this was 2026 Q1, 7,000. And that means I can color in, each one's worth 500, so I can color in 4 cars. Very cool. Making some good progress. Not in a rush to buy a car. I want to try to get one by 2031, so I have plenty of time to get this stuffed. But it's something I want to just slowly work on over the course of the years, so that way whenever I'm ready to trade in my car, I have my funds available. Okay, and then I am going to move the Xavier envelope into my sinking funds. And that's going to be, that's not my, yeah, that's my sinking funds. Oh my gosh, it's my long-term sinking. I'm so confused. And I also need to add my $150 that I got in interest from this money market account, and I want to put that, I want to roll that into this CD. We'll just put Xavier back here in the graduation section, so his money then is there. And then Cadence and Drew, I forgot I added that. When I'm at the bank, I have like little sticky notes where I've added all of these things, and then when I get to my video, I just forget, I guess. I don't know. So, okay. So let's see. Cadence then got $100 added to hers. So she's at $2,500, $3,600, $3,700. Hers is a little bit more because I want to go to Europe with my niece, and so I have to pay for myself to go too. So hers is going to be a little bit more. And then Drew gets another 50. So he's at $1,250, $1,100, $1,200, and $1,250, which is awesome. Again, he's only 3.5, so we have a few years left until he is 18. So I had $12,067 in this CD, and then we received $362 in interest. So we have $12,067 plus 361.25 in interest. That's going to give me $12,428.25. And then I moved $63 over for my sinking and personal. And then we added 100 for cadence. 12,465.25. We pulled out 2,500 for Xavier. 9,965.25, and then we added $50 for Drew. That gives me $10,015.25 in the CD that I renewed on Friday. So thank you so much for spending time with me and helping me get my budgeting life together with my CD interest. I do have a video on how to get started with CDs and why I use CDs in money markets. Mainly because it yields me so much interest in the year, and I get to do fun things with that, like fund graduation funds and my car fund and all of those fun things. So I just love it. So check those out if you're interested. Please like this video if you enjoyed this comment, or oh my gosh, please like the video if you enjoyed the content, and then comment down below and let me know, do you have any CDs or interest, or how do you get some extra income, or how do you make your money work for you a little bit better? I'm always looking for new ideas. If you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you along for the journey. But until I see you guys in my next one, have a great rest of the week. Bye.